Okay, today's video, good afternoon, is going to be, I just returned from Vietnam last Saturday, so a little over a week ago. It's Sunday today, so about 8 days ago. And in my last video, I told you I was going to talk about some differences that I found between Vietnam and the Philippines.
Okay.
So I've got a few different topics I've got. First one I want to talk about is my thoughts on a communist country. I've never been to a communist country until I went to Vietnam. I was kind of leery about it, but I heard a lot of good things about Vietnam and how, especially, the younger people, they really like the Western way of life. They like capitalism. And what I saw going to Saigon and Nha Trang was pretty much that they just want to make money. Basically down there it felt like they were capitalists, and that's what they were. I didn't really feel anything too much communist that I would expect there. Everybody was moving freely, everything was open, it was good. So I really didn't notice anything. Long story short, I don't know about up north, if it's the same or a little different, but as far as the south goes, that's what I found. But that's my thoughts on. In fact, one other thing I want to say, I actually thought they were a little bit more maybe free than we are in the U.S. now, and that's from everything when I was over there a couple years ago in the U.S., also from people living there now, and just seeing other things and reading things. We might be less free than they are. To my next topic is one big noticeable thing I saw in Vietnam compared to Philippines. Everything was clean. They had trash cans everywhere. You're talking Saigon. They're probably 8.5, 9 million people now, and it was just, I don't know, it didn't seem near as chaotic as like Manila was or is. Like I said, it was just very, very clean. I saw a lot of garbage cans on the street. Seemed like 3 or 4 times a day they would go and sweep the streets. I know at the parks they came by with a fire hose and washed it down, stuff like that. So they kept everything real clean. So I really liked that. I didn't get a lot of bad smells or anything like that while I was there. In fact, I didn't even get as mosquito bitten as I do in the Philippines. I don't know why that is. Maybe the Filipino mosquitoes just like me better. I don't know what that is, but I think I got bit at the beach in Nha Trang once or twice only in 3 days. In Saigon, I don't remember getting bit at all, and I was there actually about 7 days total. So yeah, that was a big thing though. The cleanliness, I really liked it. Another thing, normally when I travel overseas, even going back to the US after I've been overseas for a while, I get a messed up stomach, and I did not have that happen to me in Vietnam at all. I don't know why. I did first couple days take a preventive diarrhea tab, but after that I did not, and I was still good to go. I ate some street food, I ate in restaurants, so I had no problem there. So that was a good thing for me. Why? Like I said, I don't know, but I just really enjoyed it. Okay, next topic I'm going to talk about is driving. I've lived a lot overseas. It's crazy in any city. Philippines, you really got to be patient about driving, not to get road rage. It's different than back home in USA. So, but when I went to Vietnam, I'd heard stories about all the motorbikes have a lot more motorbikes than they do in the Philippines. So I was kind of worried about it. And I went over there, and what I noticed was it wasn't so much chaos, I want to say. It was more organized. They kind of just went straight It wasn't a lot of doing this. It was more just straight driving. And some streets had stop and go for pedestrians. Others did not. But what I realized shortly is I could walk out, make sure I'm careful, but walk out kind of when the motorbikes were coming, and they would just go around you, which I thought was kind of cool. And they kind of knew how to do it, I guess. And then, but I would not go out in front of cars or trucks or anything like that. I just wasn't going to chance that. But motorbikes I felt pretty good about. But like I said, overall, it's just a lot more organized. I didn't have to drive there like I do in the Philippines. I grabbed or took a taxi everywhere, or I walked within about 15 minutes of where I was staying at the hotel. But yeah, driving overseas sometimes can be chaos. I know, same as Bangkok or anywhere else, Thailand. But I just wanted to touch on that driving thing and my experience there with it. What else? Next thing I'm going to talk about is prices. Just a little bit on prices. I just want to touch on it. I was doing some research, and I talked to a lot of people that's traveled different places over here in Southeast Asia. And it seems to me, from all the information I've gathered in my trips, I've been recently in the last year to Thailand and Vietnam, plus I live in the Philippines. And I think pretty much, I could be wrong, so don't hold me to it. I'm thinking right now the cheapest is Cambodia. They say Cambodia's quite a bit behind most other places, Southeast Asia, but it's dirt cheap. It is really cheap. Then next is probably Vietnam for the cheapest, from my experience. Also, then Philippines. And then the most expensive I found in Southeast Asia was Thailand. And none of them's that crazy. I mean, most places over here are pretty reasonable. A lot of people think it's cheap. Depends on where you're from, where you came from, your circumstances. But I really, that's kind of where I rank them at. Pretty much going from cheapest up: Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, and Thailand. You may have a different experience, you may have a different opinion, and that's okay. That's just from my experience and talking to people. Prices in Vietnam, to give you an example, I paid about $45 a night hotel for one of the better hotels in District 1, supposedly there, and that was, like I said, $45 around there. And of course, depends on when you go and stuff. It could be higher or lower. The next down in Nha Trang, stayed at the beach. Wasn't quite as nice a hotel as I stayed at in Saigon. Still very nice. Had Wi-Fi, had hot water, nice beds. I mean, nothing really to complain about at all. It was good. $20 a night. And one of our travelers stayed across another hotel, paid $20 a night as well. So that's cheap for a really good, a decent hotel, yes. And then as far as when I go back in March, which I'm going back, I think I've scheduled a hotel for around the $40 range again in Saigon. And then for down in Da Nang, I think I'm paying about 50 or 55, and this would be on the level of a Sheraton, Hilton Garden Inn, or a Hilton. So just to give you the price and the quality type of hotel, but it is not one of those. And then for food, if you eat local food, it's kind of like the Philippines. You can eat really cheap if you eat local. If you try to eat Western or foreign all the time, you're gonna pay more. But I'd say $2 to $4. Most meals you can get for. Beer I thought was a little cheaper in the Philippines. Most places about 80 US cents to about $1.20. Okay, so that's pretty cheap, and that's at bars, or restaurants. So that's not a bad deal. Sodas or like mango shakes and stuff are real reasonable too. Probably $1 or less. So that's kind of what I found to be But taxis to go around Saigon or Grab, I think most of them were about 50,000 dong. So you're talking about a couple bucks to go. Most places I need to go in Saigon. We took a river cruise with kind of first class limo there. Took the cruise with food, included drink but not alcoholic drink, and we paid about $60 a head. Really good for a whole evening. From about 6 p.m. they picked us up at the hotel, dropped us back off at 10. It was first class service all the way. We had live bands on the ship. We went back and forth on Saigon River. Great view of the city and the lights at night. I did a short on that you might want to check out. But but that's just a kind of idea of prices. And I'm going back, I said, next month, and I'll give you more. But that's it for that topic. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the beaches. The beaches there. I live in Subic Bay area. If you go north or south, the beaches are more clean, especially the further south you go into Visayas near Mindanao. Really clean. You go up further north from here, they're cleaner. But Subic Bay is just such a big bay. It seems like more trash is around. But when I went to Nha Trang, it's the only one I've got to compare to. It's very clean, very big beach. Just very nice. Trash cans everywhere again. They had CRs at the beach, so the bathrooms were available, and everything was just pretty much convenient. The other thing, but like I said, that was Nha Trang. I'm going to go back next month, end of the month, and I'm going to go to Da Nang. I'll do a couple days in Saigon when I arrive and leave Vietnam, but I'm going to spend 4 days in Da Nang, and that's another much bigger place than Nha Trang, but it is another beach area, so I can give you more on that feedback when I return from that trip. Another thing, the restaurants, they had, I'm partial to in Asia. I like Thai food, Filipino food, Vietnamese food, and that's pretty much the three I like in Asia. I really like Vietnamese food. I like Vietnamese coffee. I was in heaven pretty much there, drinking coffee. If you saw a short of mine I did, egg yolk coffee. They call it egg coffee over there. Really good. They put an egg yolk and I think a little condensed milk, and then they pour the coffee in, and of course the yolk rises, the coffee goes to the bottom, but it's just a really good coffee. Like I said, I already like Vietnamese coffee the way they make it, but that just was even better for me. So I kind of got hooked on that a little bit. So I'm looking forward to trying more of that. I did bring back quite a bit of coffee with me, so I've got coffee to last me a little bit. So I'll be drinking a lot of Vietnamese coffee over the next month or so. But the restaurant's real good. Pho, I believe they call it, spelled P-H-O. They had quite a few good restaurants there. Found a couple. If you watched one of my videos, my walking video the other day, I'll show you one of the good pho restaurants on that. There's some more. If you know who Tony Bourdain is, they were telling me the place right by our hotel. I did not eat there, but every time he went to Saigon, he ate there. I think he did a show there, and it's supposed to be really good. It's just a mom and pop's place, but really, really good. And we tried a few other places, pretty good. I had some good food down in Nha Trang, so that was good. Another thing I liked about Saigon and Nha Trang, had a lot of nice Western pubs, Aussie, English, and then also a lot of Aussie. And the other thing they had was breweries. So they had quite a few craft beer places. Had a couple real good ones, like I said, in Nha Trang. I'm gonna bring a video out soon, and I'll show you one of those. And then the other one was, I had 3 places up in Saigon. one being Fatty's, and that was a real good place. The other one was Jackaroo. I did a video. I interviewed the owner there, and there was another brewery. But there was quite a few places that I really liked, both in Saigon and Nha Trang. Saigon, there was just a lot to do. You can do the tourist stuff. You can go on river cruises. You can go on eating tours. I mean, it's just a lot to do. Fun city. And I'm usually not a city person. I hate any city. I don't care whether it's the U.S., Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. I just don't like big cities. But I did enjoy Saigon, so that was a surprise for me. But yeah, it's Saigon has a lot to do. Nha Trang I found a little sleepy. Now, if you're going there, I'd recommend that. If you have a family, you want to go to the beach, that would be a great trip to do with the family. Da Nang kind of gives you more that Saigon would offer. It's not near as big as Saigon, but it would still give you more of a city feel and a beach feel. So I'm looking forward to that. And the other thing, street food. Street food was pretty good. Street food was good. I've got to try more. The owner of Jackaroo, he told me about this restaurant to go try. He had some scorpions there, and he had some worms there, live worms. So I went there to try them. They were out of stock. It was during Tet, so it's holiday time. A lot of the stocks around were off. But when I go back this time, that's one of my goals, to go eat some stuff like that. Whatever I can find, I'll try to do a video on that. I like venturing out like that, so I'll try that as well. The other thing I want to talk about is, what was it? Language. Okay, I'm trying to think here. Language. So the biggest difference between, I say that gives the Philippines a heads up or a leg up over Vietnam is English language. So you got a lot of places. I know I've been in Thailand, I had to use my translator a lot. Vietnam, I constantly had to use my translator. Where in the Philippines, most people speak pretty good English or somewhat English. You get understood a lot better. That's why a lot of people come here too, is because of the good English they speak in the Philippines. So that's a thumbs up for the Philippines. But overall, I'll let you know after my next trip. But right now, I just felt very comfortable in Vietnam for a place I didn't even think I'd like, because supposedly it's a communist country. I actually really enjoyed it. And like I said, I love seeing places that's really clean. And because I like the food a lot, that helped me too. But I would say it's worth a try to go see. I know a couple people went over there, they said 10, 15 years ago, and they never left. One guy said he went there and he, I guess, met his wife and just never left. So he liked it that much. And another guy said the same thing. I know it happens in the Philippines, happens in Thailand as well. But, you know, you just have to go try each place, see what you like best, so you can take the information I'm giving you and you can go with, put my information I give you in your bucket and sort it out. So when you're trying to make a decision of where to visit in Southeast Asia or where to live, it just gives you more information. That's what I did before I came over here. I watched a lot of YouTube videos from different people. I took bits and parts and pieces of all those videos, the information in them, and that's kind of, it really helped me before I got here. Even though I had traveled over here for years, it's different living here, so that just kind of really helped me a lot, watching those videos. So hopefully this helps you a little bit. I'll give you more from Vietnam. I'll give you more from the Philippines, of course. I'm starting to do more Filipino videos again. Now I'm back. But I got a lot of travel on the horizon. Going up to Baguio in a couple weeks. Then I'm going back to Vietnam for a week. Then I'm going to Siargao mid-April. So now that they got Clark, the flight's going out of Clark on Sunlight Air, I don't have to mess with Cebu Pacific. I really do not like that airline. It's got to be the worst airline I've flown in my entire life. Many people say the same thing. I don't understand that airline. I think it gives the Philippines a bad name. But Sunlight Air, they have direct flights starting in April, going to Siargao, going to St. Vincent, El Nido, Coron, Naga, and Boracay. You can take nonstop flights right from Clark in Angeles City to those destinations starting in April, and I love it. The only thing they're keeping, they used to be home-based Sunlight out of Terminal 4 in Manila at Naiya, and the only one they're keeping there, I think, is going down to Cebu. And then they also have a hub down now in Cebu that they're going to be flying different destinations, I think down to Visayas area, and also to Siargao from Cebu City. So check out those. I was surprised at the price. I think I paid $160 American dollars to go to Siargao this coming trip, and I paid over $200 on Cebu Pacific quite a few times. So I was expecting a higher price, but I hope the prices stay pretty low, and with them being non-stop flights, not having to mess with Cebu Pacific and go through Cebu and have a layover or anything, or worry about canceled or flights and things like that, delayed flights. Just go non-stop, but looking forward to it. So check that out as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe as always. Look out for my other videos from Vietnam as well as right here in the Philippines. Appreciate it.
Don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to George All About the Philippines. Thank you.